Hello and welcome to our SPOC, or Scrum Product Owner Certified course. In this session, we will learn more about the importance of business justification in Scrum. Business justification deals with understanding how Scrum can help in delivering products that are of high value to the sponsor. Business justification, as described in a guide to the Scrum body of knowledge, is applicable to portfolios, programs, and/or projects in any industry. Products, services, or any other results to be delivered to stakeholders, projects of any size or complexity. Some of the topics we will learn in this chapter are value-driven delivery, importance of business justification techniques, continuous value justification, confirmed benefits realization, summary of responsibilities, Scrum versus traditional project management. We're going to learn about value-driven delivery and its importance for business justification. A project is a collaborative enterprise to either create new products or services or to deliver results as defined in the project vision statement. Projects are usually impacted by constraints of time, cost, scope, quality, people, and organizational capabilities. Usually, the results generated by projects are expected to create some form of business or service value. Delivering value is ingrained in the Scrum framework. Scrum facilitates delivery of value very early on in the project and continues to do so throughout the project lifecycle. In order to provide value-driven delivery, it is important to understand what adds value to customers and users, and to prioritize the high-value requirements at the top of the prioritized product backlog. Decrease uncertainty and constantly address risks that can potentially decrease value. Also, work closely with project stakeholders, showing them product increments at the end of each sprint. Create deliverables based on the priorities determined by producing potentially shippable product increments during each sprint so that customers start realizing value early on in the project. This concept is very different when compared with traditional project management models, where requirements are not prioritized by business value. Changing requirements after project initiation is difficult and can only be done through a time-consuming change management process. Value is realized only at the end of the project when the final product or service is delivered. Now let us understand more about the responsibilities of a product owner in business justification. At a portfolio level, a portfolio product owner delivers value for portfolios, creates business justification for portfolios, provides value guidance for programs, and approves business justification for programs. At a program level, a program product owner delivers value for programs, creates business justification for programs, provides value guidance for projects, and approves business justification for projects. At a project level, a project product owner delivers value for projects, creates business justification for projects, and confirms benefit realization to stakeholders. We will learn about the importance of business justification. Some of the factors to be considered while determining business justification are 1. Project reasoning. Project reasoning includes all factors which necessitate the project, whether positive or negative, chosen or not. For example, inadequate capacity to meet existing and forecasted demand, decrease in customer satisfaction, low profit, legal requirement, and so on are some of the factors to be considered. 2. Business needs. Business needs are those business outcomes documented in the project vision statement, which the project is expected to fulfill. 3. Project benefits. Project benefits include all measurable improvements in a product, service, or result which could be provided through successful completion of a project. 4. Opportunity costs. Opportunity costs cover the next best business option or project that was discarded in favor of the current project. 5. Major risks. Risks include any uncertain or unplanned events that may affect the viability and potential success of the project. 6. Project timescales. Timescales reflect the length or duration of a project and the time over which its benefits will be realized. 7. Project costs. Project costs are investment and other development costs for a project. Business justification is first assessed prior to a project being initiated and is continuously verified throughout the project lifecycle. The steps to determine business justification are to first assess and present a business case. Business justification for a project is typically analyzed and confirmed by the product owner. It is documented and presented in the form of a project business case prior to initiate phase and involves considering the various factors specified in Section 4.4.1. Second, perform continuous value justification. Once the decision makers approve the project vision statement, it is then baselined and forms the business justification. The business justification is validated throughout the project execution, typically at predefined intervals or milestones, such as during portfolio, program, and prioritized product backlog review meetings, and when major issues and risks that threaten project viability are identified. And third, confirm benefits realization. The product owner confirms the achievement of organizational benefits throughout the project, as well as upon completion of the user stories in the prioritized product backlog. We're going to learn about some of the tools used to assess and evaluate business justification, as well as some other aspects associated with project justification and project selection. It is not necessary or even recommended to use every available technique for every project. Some techniques are not appropriate depending on the specific project, and techniques may be used to assess projects individually or to compare the expected value of multiple projects. Let's now understand how project value is estimated. The value to be provided by business projects can be estimated using various methods such as return on investment, net present value, and internal rate of return. First method we are going to learn is return on investment. Return on investment, when used for project justification, assesses the expected net income to be gained from a project. Return on investment equals project revenue minus project cost divided by project cost. The second method is net present value. Net present value is a method used to determine the current net value of a future financial benefit, given an assumed inflation or interest of rate. The third method is internal rate of return. Internal rate of return, or IRR, is a discount rate on an investment in which the present value of cash inflows is made equal to the present value of cash outflows for assessing a project's rate of return. When comparing projects, one with a higher IRR is typically better. After estimating the project value, the next step is to plan for delivering value. This can be done using several methods. The first method we will learn is value stream mapping. Value stream mapping uses flowcharts to illustrate the flow of information needed to complete a process. This technique may be used to streamline a process by helping to determine non-value-added elements. The second method is customer value-based prioritization. Customer value-based prioritization places primary importance on the customer and strives to implement user stories with the highest value first. Such high-value user stories are identified and moved to the top of the prioritized product backlog. A team can use a variety of prioritization schemes to determine high-value features. A. Simple schemes. Simple schemes involve labeling items as priority 1, 2, 3, or high, medium, and low, and so on. Although this is a simple and straightforward approach, it can become problematic because there is often a tendency to label everything as priority 1 or high. Even high, medium, and low prioritization schemes can encounter similar difficulties. Moscow prioritization. The Moscow prioritization scheme derives its names from the first letters of the phrase must have, should have, could have, and won't have. This prioritization method is generally more effective than simple schemes. The labels are in decreasing order of priority, with must-have features being those without which the product will have no value, and won't-have features being those that, although they would be nice to have, are not necessary to be included. C. Monopoly money. This technique involves giving the customer monopoly money, or false money equal to the amount of the project budget, and asking them to distribute it among the user stories under consideration. In this way, the customer prioritizes based on what they are willing to pay for each user story. D. 100-point method. The 100-point method was developed by Dean Leffingwell and Don Widrig in 2003. It involves giving the customer 100 points they can use to vote for the features that they feel are most important. Finally, E. Kano analysis. The Kano analysis was developed by Noriaki Kano, 1984, and involves classifying features or requirements into 4 categories based on customer preferences. 1. Exciters or delighters, features that are new or high value to the customer. 2. Satisfiers, features that offer value to the customer. 3. Dissatisfiers, features which, if not present, are likely to cause a customer to dislike the product, but do not affect the level of satisfaction if they are present. 4. Indifferent, features that will not affect the customer in any way and should be eliminated. Figure 4.4 depicts an illustration of the Kano analysis. The third method to plan for delivering value is relative prioritization ranking. This method entails a simple listing of user stories in order of priority. This is an effective method for determining the desired user stories for each iteration or release of the product or service. The purpose is to create a simple, single list with the goal of prioritizing features rather than being distracted by multiple prioritization schemes. Defining the minimum marketable features, or MMF, is extremely important during this process, so that the first release or iteration happens as early as possible, leading to increased ROI. Normally, these user stories would rank highest in priority. The fourth method to plan for delivering value is story mapping. This is a technique to provide a visual outline of the product and its key components. Story mapping, first formulated by Jeff Patton in 2005, is commonly used to illustrate product roadmaps. Story maps depict the sequence of product development iterations and map out which features will be included in the first, second, third, and subsequent releases. Just finished learning about the different techniques that can be used to perform business justification. We will learn about performing continuous business justification and confirming benefit realization. Business value should be assessed regularly to determine whether the justification or viability of executing the project continues to exist. Frequent assessment of investment in the project relative to business value being created qualifies the continued viability of a project. The expected requirements from the project may change frequently, which can impact both project investment and value creation. A key aspect of Scrum is its ability to quickly adjust to chaos created by a rapidly changing business model. In projects with ambiguous user requirements and significant potential for frequent changes, Scrum provides considerable advantages over other development models. Monitoring the rate of delivering value is an important requirement for Scrum projects. Periodically, tracking and reporting the creation of value assists in assessing project status and provides important information to the customer and other stakeholders. Let's now examine some of the methods used to perform continuous business justification. Earned value analysis, EVA analyzes actual project performance against planned performance at a given point in time. For tracking techniques to be effective, the initial baseline project plan needs to be accurate. EVA often uses graphs and other visuals, e.g. S-curves, as a way to depict project status information. Cumulative Flow Diagram, or CFD. A cumulative flow diagram, or CFD, is a useful tool for reporting and tracking project performance. It provides a simple, visual representation of project progress at a particular point in time. It is usually used to provide a higher-level status of the overall project and not daily updates for individual sprints. Throughout a project, it is important to verify whether benefits are being realized. Whether the products of a Scrum project are tangible or intangible, appropriate verification techniques are required to confirm that the team is creating the deliverables that will achieve the benefits and value defined at the beginning of the project. Prototypes, simulations, and demonstrations. Demonstrating prototypes to customers and simulating their functionalities are commonly used techniques for confirming value. We will learn about the differences between Scrum and traditional project management methods with respect to business justification. Traditional projects emphasize on extensive upfront planning and adherence to the project plan created by the project manager. Usually, changes are managed through a formal change management system, and value is created at the end of the project when the final product is delivered. In Scrum projects, extensive long-term planning is not done prior to project execution. Planning is done in an iterative manner before each sprint. This allows quick and effective response to change, which results in lower costs and ultimately increased profitability and return on investment. Moreover, value-driven delivery is a key benefit of the Scrum framework and provides significantly better prioritization and quicker realization of business value. Because of the iterative nature of Scrum development, there is always at least one release of the product with minimum marketable features available. Even if a project is terminated, there are usually some benefits or value created prior to termination. This brings us to the end of our session on the business justification chapter. I look forward to seeing you in our next session that deals with quality. Until then, goodbye, and thank you for learning with us.